You've probably seen it all over the internet lately.
I think so, yeah.
It's all these like kind of charming anime pictures.
Right, yeah.
And they all have this very like Ghibli-esque feel to them.
Mm-hmm.
There are tons of articles out there that are like, trying to really dig deep into this trend.
Sure.
Like, where did it come from? Who are the big names driving this?
Right.
What's the tech behind it?
Yeah.
But you're busy.
Yes.
You want to understand what's happening in the world.
Yeah.
But you don't have time to like dig through all these articles.
Exactly, yeah.
So we're doing this deep dive.
Yeah, this is going to be good.
Just for you to give you all the like essential information.
The need to knows.
Yeah, and some like surprising stuff too.
Yeah. Okay.
That's going on with this whole like cultural moment.
Yeah, I'm excited.
So what we're going to do today is really figure out
Okay.
like, why did this trend explode?
Yeah, why this one?
Yeah, like why Ghibli?
Right.
He started it all, and I think the most important thing
Okay.
are the kind of like the less obvious implications of it.
Okay, that's the interesting part.
Yeah, like how does this affect like, our data and privacy?
Right.
And like what does it mean for like the art world in general?
Mm-hmm. Those are huge questions.
Big questions, yeah.
So how did this all begin? Where did this come from?
Well, the first spark seems to have come from the release of OpenAI's GPT 4.0.
Ah, the zoo.
The updated model, yeah.
Okay.
And like everybody was kind of blown away by how much better it was at making images.
Right.
And almost immediately people were like, whoa,
It can do Ghibli.
Yeah, it's making Ghibli.
I'll fly it out of the box.
Yeah.
Wow.
And then that's when Grant Slatton enters the scene.
Okay.
He's an engineer from Seattle.
Okay.
And last Tuesday,
Okay.
the same day that GPT 4.0 came out,
Well.
he posts this picture that he made with the AI
Okay.
on social media.
All right.
And it's a picture of his family.
Okay, cute.
Yeah, him, his wife, their dog.
Well,
All in like Ghibli style.
that's got to be cute.
It was adorable.
Yeah.
And that post just blew up
Really?
and went totally viral.
Oh, wow.
It got something like 46 million views.
Wow, that's a lot of views.
That's a lot of people that are interested in Ghibli.
Yeah.
So,
That's crazy.
yeah, I mean, the demand was so high that even Sam Altman,
The CEO of OpenAI.
the CEO of OpenAI,
Yeah.
he even commented on it.
Oh, really?
So he was like, please chill.
Laughing.
He said, our GPUs are melting.
Oh, wow.
And they actually had to like put rate limits in place
Really?
because he said there was like biblical demand.
Wow, that's a good way to put it.
So Grant kind of, accidentally became like a huge viral sensation
Yeah.
that week. And his co-founder at Row Zero,
Okay.
his name's Breck Friesen,
Mhm.
and they're working on this like world's fastest spreadsheet startup.
That's ambitious.
I know.
Yeah.
He posted on LinkedIn that Grant had won the internet.
That's so funny.
I know. I thought that was so funny.
So not everybody was happy, though. Right?
Oh, yeah, Grant did say that he got some like pretty harsh feedback from some people.
Oh, really? Like what?
Yeah, he said it's like a vocal minority,
Mm-hmm.
but they were pretty critical.
So what were they saying? Were they just like, these are bad, or?
I think it was more about the implications of AI art.
Okay, so like deeper than just,
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
And he did mention that somebody told him to learn to draw.
Oh, come on.
Yeah, so he actually responded to that person by painting a picture of his wife.
Wow, so he does actually know how to draw.
Yeah, I thought that was a great response.
Yeah.
Shows that he has like artistic interest beyond just like using AI.
Right. He's not just like a tech bro who's like, I can do this too.
Right, exactly.
So what about this Ghibli style? Like, why is it so popular?
Well, I think it's a couple of things.
Okay.
Like, first of all, people have a really strong like nostalgic connection to Studio Ghibli films.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
They were founded back in 1985
Okay.
by Hayao Miyazaki, Isao Takahata,
Yeah.
and Toshio Suzuki.
Okay.
It's like a legendary trio.
I mean, their films are just so beloved, right?
Yeah, they've made some of the most like cherished animated films ever.
Yeah.
And like everybody loves them.
Yeah, I mean, like, who doesn't love Totoro?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And like Spirited Away and Princess Mononoke.
Yeah, they're classics.
Yeah, and there's this like warmth and enchantment to them that's just,
It's unique. It's special.
yeah, it's unique. And I think especially in like our digital world,
Yeah.
which can be kind of like chaotic.
It's a lot.
Yeah, that's a lot.
It's a good escape.
Yeah, it offers like a visual escape.
It's like a warm hug.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think the AI kind of like provides that
Yeah.
like a quick and easy way.
Right, like you don't even have to watch a movie to get that feeling.
Yeah.
You just get to look at the picture and you're like, okay.
And they have a very like distinct visual style.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
You know, it's all hand-drawn animation.
Yeah.
And they use like these soft pastel colors
Yeah.
and like big expressive eyes.
Yeah, and the worlds are always so, like, detailed and...
Yeah, and whimsical and
Yeah.
inviting.
Yeah, exactly.
And I think what's really interesting is that the AI now,
Yeah.
like with GPT 4.0, it can understand those styles better.
Okay.
It's not just like recognizing objects.
Right.
It's like replicating brushstrokes and color palettes.
Yeah, wow.
And even like the feel of a Ghibli movie.
Oh, that's fascinating.
Yeah.
And I think you also have to, like, acknowledge the accessibility
Right.
that these AI tools provide.
Yeah, anybody can do it.
Yeah, anyone can just take a picture of, like, anything.
Their lunch.
Yeah, their lunch themselves. Or,
And make a Ghibli.
yeah, make it Ghibli.
Yeah.
And you don't need any artistic skill at all.
Yeah. I mean, that's huge, right?
Yeah.
That's a game changer.
Yeah, it's like democratizing art in a way. And that's why I think social media just exploded with this stuff.
Oh, yeah. Instagram was flooded with AI-generated Ghibli portraits.
Yeah, it was crazy.
And it wasn't just like everyday people. It was influencers, celebrities, even politicians.
Yeah, everybody was getting in on the action.
Everyone was getting Ghiblified.
Exactly. And I think it's also worth pointing out that even Sam Altman,
Yeah.
he got in on it too.
He changed his ex-profile picture to a Ghibli-style avatar.
Yeah, he was making jokes about it too.
Yeah, he was so funny.
It just shows you that even the people who are making this technology are kind of like, whoa, this is
big.
This is a thing.
This is a thing, yeah.
Yeah, so it was definitely a cultural moment.
Yeah, but with all this like rapid adoption of new technology.
Yeah, there are always
concerns.
There are always going to be some downsides.
Yeah, like, you know, Grant mentioned that he got some negative feedback. And it wasn't just like typical internet trolls.
Right.
It was like genuine concerns, especially from artists.
Yeah, makes sense.
Yeah, so this brings up the whole issue of like protecting original art.
Right.
And like the livelihoods of artists.
For sure.
And then that quote from Hayao Miyazaki resurfaced.
Oh, yeah, the one about AI?
Yeah, from back in 2016.
Okay.
Where he reportedly called AI an insult to life itself.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I mean, that's a pretty strong statement.
It is, yeah.
Coming from like such a respected figure in the animation world.
Right.
And it puts OpenAI in a tough spot.
Yeah.
Because on one hand, they're like, okay, you can make images in broader studio styles.
Okay.
But then they say you can't make images in the style of individual living artists.
Oh, that's an interesting distinction.
It is.
So what does that actually mean in practice?
I don't know. It's kind of vague.
Yeah.
But it is interesting that they're making that distinction.
Yeah.
And Grant himself had an interesting take on all this backlash.
Okay, what did he say?
He thinks that a lot of the hate is coming from, like, you know, small-time artists who are worried about their jobs.
Right, economic insecurity.
Yeah, exactly.
That's totally valid.
Yeah, and he also thinks that it's kind of tied up with the whole, like, anti-big tech sentiment that's out there.
Yeah, the culture wars.
Yeah, and he even compared it to, like, artists on Fiverr.
Oh, okay.
Who are already doing Ghibli-style commissions.
Right.
So it's like, where do you draw the line?
Yeah, where is the line between, like, inspiration and imitation and just straight-up copying?
Right.
It's a tough one.
It is, yeah.
But it's not just about the money, though, right?
Yeah.
I think there's also this idea that, like, real art has to come from a human.
Like a soul.
Yeah, like a spark.
Yeah.
And AI just can't do that.
Yeah, and that maybe AI art, even if it's beautiful.
It feels empty.
Yeah, it's just missing something.
Yeah, like it's soulless.
Yeah.
Which is kind of ironic, right?
It is, yeah.
Because we're talking about Ghibli, which is all about like heart and soul and...
Yeah, it's so full of emotion.
Yeah, it's interesting.
So this kind of leads us to like this ongoing discussion.
Yeah.
About AI being trained on copyrighted material.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's a big one.
It's a huge one.
And it goes way beyond just Ghibli style.
Oh, yeah. This is like a fundamental issue.
Yeah.
With AI.
With big implications.
Yeah.
Legal ramifications.
Yeah, and like a great example of this is the New York Times lawsuit.
Oh, right.
Against OpenAI and Microsoft.
Uh-huh. What's happening with that?
Well, they're basically accusing them of using their work to train their AI models.
Without permission?
Yeah, illegally.
Okay.
And OpenAI's response was really interesting.
Okay, what did they say?
They're basically arguing that it's impossible to train these large language models without using copyrighted work.
Okay.
Because copyright covers like pretty much everything,
Yeah, that's true.
like every form of human expression.
Yeah, so it's like they're saying that copyright law is actually hindering AI development.
Yeah. Okay.
And their defense is like based on this idea of fair use.
Right. The legal concept.
Yeah, but it's really gray area.
Yeah. What is fair use exactly? I know. And there are a lot of authors who are suing OpenAI,
Oh, really? Like who?
like John Grisham,
Oh, wow.
O.D.P. Colt.
Big names.
Yeah, George R.R. Martin.
Okay, so they're not messing around.
They're not messing around.
Yeah.
And they're accusing OpenAI of systematic theft on a mass scale.
So this whole thing with the Ghibli AI art trend,
Yeah.
could it be like a test case for these bigger copyright questions?
I think it could be.
Yeah, especially if like artists who feel like their styles are being ripped off by AI
Right.
start taking action.
Yeah, it feels like this whole area of law is about to undergo some major changes.
Yeah.
So moving on from like the artistic and legal stuff,
Yeah.
the Ghibli trend has also raised concerns about privacy,
Oh, right.
which affects all of us.
Yeah. Privacy is huge these days.
Yeah, and digital privacy advocates are worried that OpenAI is using this trend
Okay.
to gather tons of personal images
Oh.
for AI training.
Okay.
And they're saying that it might be a way for OpenAI to like get around
Okay.
restrictions on web scraping.
Okay. That makes sense.
Yeah, because people are voluntarily uploading their photos,
Right.
which is different from like just scraping images from the web.
Right. Legally, it's different.
Yeah.
So how does GDPR play into all this?
Well, for web scraping,
Mm-hmm.
companies like OpenAI have to show that they have a legitimate interest
Okay.
and they have to implement safeguards.
Right.
But when users are like willingly uploading,
Yeah.
it kind of changes the situation.
Yeah, because they're giving consent.
Right.
Yeah.
And Louisa Yurovsky,
Okay.
she's the co-founder of the AI Tech and Privacy Academy.
Mm-hmm.
She made a really interesting point.
Okay. What's that?
She said that when people upload images,
Right.
they're basically giving their consent
Okay.
under GDPR.
Which is
It's the European data privacy law.
okay.
And this could give OpenAI a lot more freedom
Okay.
because the legitimate interest balancing test might not apply anymore.
Right.
And OpenAI's privacy policy actually states
Yeah.
that they collect user-inputted data for training
Okay.
unless users opt out.
So it's like hidden in the fine print.
It is, yeah.
Yeah.
So while like social media platforms
Yeah.
and other AI companies might only see the Ghiblified version
Right.
of our photos,
Yeah.
OpenAI, by having us upload directly to ChatGPT,
Yeah.
they get the original images,
Okay.
potentially higher resolution,
Yeah.
more personal, more private.
That's a big difference.
It is.
Yeah.
So if you're out there making these Ghibli avatars,
Yeah.
it's worth thinking about like,
Yeah. Where are those photos going?
yeah, where are those photos going and what could happen to them
Yeah. In the long run.
in the long run? Yeah.
And Jurowski also pointed out that people are increasingly going directly to ChatGPT
Yeah.
for these avatars.
Uh-huh.
They're not using third-party providers anymore.
Right.
So it's like they're giving OpenAI this direct line
Yeah.
to their original photos.
Yeah. And the Himikal cyber warriors issued a warning
Okay.
about all this.
Okay, about what?
They're saying that there's potential for misuse, manipulation training
Yeah.
without consent.
Uh-huh.
And they even said that data brokers could sell these photos for targeted advertising.
Wow, that's scary.
It is, yeah.
So is it safe to upload photos to ChatGPT?
Well, I actually asked ChatGPT that.
You did. What did it say?
I was like, how safe is it to upload personal photos to you?
Yeah.
And it basically said, be careful.
Okay.
They said they don't retain the images beyond the immediate session,
Mm-hmm.
but they still recommend that you don't share sensitive information.
Right.
And they said, if you're really worried about privacy,
Yeah.
you should use offline tools.
So they're kind of covering their bases.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's interesting to compare that to Grok,
Oh, Grok, that's Elon Musk's AI, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
which also has a gloppy sound feature.
Oh, really?
Yeah, in Grok 3.
Okay.
And their policy on retaining images and using them for training is less clear.
Oh, so it's not as straightforward as ChatGPT.
No.
Okay.
So I asked Grok about the safety of uploading photos,
Yeah, what did it say?
and it was like pretty vague.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they didn't really say how long they keep images
Okay.
or if they use them for training,
Uh-huh.
but they did hint that they might store them on their servers
Okay.
and that they might use them for improvement
Okay.
unless you opt out in your X settings.
So they're not ruling it out.
Right.
Yeah.
And they also mentioned the risk of like replicating likeness and data leaks,
Yeah.
especially with sensitive images.
So it's like they're acknowledging the risks, but they're not really giving you any guarantees.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's kind of a trade-off.
It is,
But
yeah.
like you get to have fun with the trend,
Yeah.
but you're also potentially putting your privacy at risk.
Right.
Yeah.
So what can we do?
To stay safe.
Yeah, to protect our biometric data.
Yeah. What are some practical tips?
Well, the advice is pretty basic,
Okay.
but it's important.
Okay.
Like, think twice before you upload personal photos for any of these AI trends.
Okay.
Don't share high-resolution images on social media
Hmm.
because they can be used for training.
Right. Yeah.
Use PINs or passwords instead of facial recognition.
Okay.
And be careful about which apps have access to your camera.
Yeah.
Every little bit helps.
It does. Yeah.
So let's wrap up our deep dive into this whole Ghibli AI art thing.
Okay. Yeah. Let's summarize.
What are the
that.
key takeaways?
All right. So first of all,
Yeah.
this trend has just exploded.
Yeah.
Like so fast.
That's unbelievable.
And everybody's excited about it.
Yeah.
And it's really thanks to social media
Yeah.
and the fact that these AI tools are so easy to use.
Yeah. Anyone can do it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But at the same time,
Yeah.
it's raised some really serious ethical and privacy questions.
Yeah. It's not all fun and games.
Right.
So we really need to think about this balance
Yeah.
between like creative expression
Mm-hmm.
and protecting our data
Yeah.
in this like crazy world of AI.
It's evolving so quickly.
I know.
Yeah.
It's hard to keep up.
Yeah. And we need to think about what this means for artists.
And how our information is being used to train these systems.
Yeah.
So this whole thing really brings us to a big question for you.
Okay. Hit me.
As AI art generation gets more and more sophisticated
Yeah.
and it becomes more integrated into our lives,
Yeah.
how do we like enjoy the good stuff?
The possibilities.
Yeah, the possibilities,
Mhm.
while also protecting our privacy
Yeah.
and respecting the rights of creators.
Yeah. That's the $1,000,000 question.
It is. There's no easy answer.
There isn't.
And it's something we're going to have to keep thinking about.
As AI keeps evolving.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
who knows what the future holds?
I know it's going to be interesting.
It is for sure.
Yeah.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks for coming on.
This was a great conversation.
Yeah, it was. I learned a lot.
Me too.
All right. Well, that's our deep dive for today.
Until next time.
Yeah. Till next time. Bye.